Feeling alone? Lost? Like the world is moving on without you, leaving you in a quiet, echoing space? You're not imagining it. We're navigating what many call an epidemic of loneliness, a pervasive sense of disconnection that touches lives across all ages and backgrounds. Society often whispers that solitude is a sign of failure, a void to be desperately filled, a reflection of unworthiness. But what if this narrative is profoundly incomplete? What if those periods where life seems to deliberately, even forcefully, guide you into isolation aren't a punishment, but a misunderstood invitation? A secret gift veiled in silence? Today, at Mind Architect, we're not just questioning the fear of solitude, we're decoding why life might be isolating you, and how this very isolation could be the architect's blueprint for unlocking your deepest potential and most authentic self. Your fear of solitude isn't accidental. It's deeply conditioned by a culture that often equates constant social interaction with happiness and success. We're told our value is reflected in our connections, so aloneness can feel like a verdict of personal failure. This creates a profound paradox. We yearn for genuine, authentic connection, yet we often flee from the very state that cultivates the self-awareness necessary for it. That sacred space where we can truly meet ourselves, unfiltered. Think of it. When was the last time you were truly, undistractedly, alone with your own thoughts and feelings, without reaching for a device or seeking external input? Life, in its often inscrutable wisdom, sometimes has to clear the stage. People may drift, familiar routines can shatter, the constant hum of external noise fades, and you find yourself in the quiet. Initially, it can feel like an abrupt loss, a disorienting void. But what if this isn't abandonment, but a divine intervention, a purposeful recalibration? Here's the first secret, the first layer of this gift. Solitude is life's unsparing, an unfiltered mirror. When the chorus of external voices and expectations finally vanishes, you are left with one primary dialogue. The one with yourself. For many, this is the most terrifying and avoided conversation. Why? Because this mirror doesn't flatter or deceive. It reflects everything, your luminous strengths and untapped potentials, yes, but also your unhealed wounds, your most ingrained limiting beliefs, the personas or masks that psychologist Carl Jung described, which you've adopted to navigate the world, often at the cost of your authentic self. This raw, honest self-encounter is the bedrock of all genuine transformation. It's the uncomfortable but necessary space where you stop performing for an external audience and start discovering your internal truth. Who are you beneath the layers of social conditioning, beneath the fear of judgment, beneath the need for approval? What does your intuition, that deep, quiet knowing, your inner compass, actually whisper when the relentless demands of the world finally cease to shout it down? This isn't merely passive introspection, it's an active, courageous archaeology of the self. And sometimes, life nudges, or even shoves you into solitude, perhaps because it knows that only in this dedicated, quiet space will you find the bravery to look. It's like an artist needing a quiet studio to truly see their canvas, to mix their true colors without interference. Solitude is your studio of the soul. But the gift of solitude doesn't end with self-discovery. It opens a door to something vaster. Grinberg's revolutionary theory suggested that our brains don't just passively observe the world. Instead, they actively interact with something he called the lattice, which you can think of as a fundamental web of energy and information that's all around us. Together, our brain and this lattice co-create the reality we experience. His experiments, like the potential transfer, a fascinating phenomenon suggesting energy and information could be exchanged between interconnected minds, hinted that consciousness might not be strictly locked inside our heads or be a totally individual thing. So, what does this mean for your moments of solitude? Imagine that the usual mental chatter, what Grinberg might refer to with a concept like the yo processor, literally I processor in Spanish, essentially, the brain's filtering mechanism or that busy inner ego that's always analyzing things. Imagine it quiets right down. When your mind isn't constantly bombarded by outside sensory information and social constructs, a different, more expanded way of perceiving awakens in you. You become more attuned not just to your true inner self, but also to that vast ocean of interconnectedness. Ever experienced those synchronicities, those uncanny, meaningful coincidences that feel deeply significant? Or those profound intuitive insights or creative breakthroughs that seem to download from elsewhere? Grinberg's work provides a framework for understanding these not as mere chance, but as moments where your individual consciousness achieves a higher coherence, meaning a more orderly and harmonious state, and a clearer resonance, like a stronger, more aligned vibration, with the underlying informational patterns of the lattice. You're essentially fine-tuning your receptive capacity. Solitude, in this light, ceases to be emptiness. It becomes a sacred antechamber, a space where the veil between the manifest, what we can see and experience, and the unmanifest, the potential or unseen realm, thins. Here, you can perceive the subtle architecture of reality, those invisible threads that connect all things. Life might guide you into isolation to offer you the key to this portal, to remind you that you are far more interconnected and perceptive than you've been led to believe. And this isn't just philosophical or theoretical. There's compelling science illuminating the tangible benefits of solitude. When we speak of chosen solitude, or solitude that we consciously reframe as positive and purposeful, we see remarkable changes in brain function and structure. Peer-reviewed studies indicate it can significantly reduce stress by lowering cortisol levels and calming the amygdala, the brain's fear center. It demonstrably enhances focus, boosts creativity, and improves complex problem-solving abilities. This occurs because solitude allows your brain to shift from its reactive, externally focused state to engage different neural networks, particularly the default mode network, which is crucial for self-reflection, autobiographical memory, moral reasoning, and envisioning the future. More profoundly, solitude is a prime state for nurturing neuroplasticity, your brain's incredible, lifelong ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections. Think about it. When you're not constantly reacting to external emails, notifications, and social pressures, you have the precious mental bandwidth to consciously examine and dismantle old, pessimistic, or self-sabotaging thought patterns. You can then intentionally cultivate and reinforce new, empowering neural pathways. In essence, you become the neuroarchitect of your own mind. Perhaps life nudges you into solitude to provide the quiet, dedicated laboratory needed for this crucial inner construction and for forging profound emotional resilience. So, we've explored the why. Now, let's focus on the how. How do we bridge that chasm between the agonizing pain of forced, unwanted isolation and the profound power of chosen, intentional solitude? The epidemic of loneliness is a stark reality, and acknowledging the validity of that pain is the first step. This isn't about spiritual bypassing or denying suffering, but about offering a new lens, a new set of tools to navigate these challenging waters. The transformation hinges on a radical mindset shift, coupled with conscious practices. 1. Reframe the narrative deliberately. Actively challenge the societal story that solitude equals failure. When you find yourself isolated, consciously reframe it. Instead of "I'm alone and unwanted," try "This is my incubation period for growth," or "This is a sacred pause life has gifted me," or "I am on a personal vision quest." Write these affirmations down. Ask yourself daily, what unique opportunity does this space offer me for learning and self-understanding? 2. Cultivate active inner listening. Your intuition, your body, your deeper self. They are constantly communicating. The noise of daily life often drowns them out. Dedicate specific, non-negotiable time to listen. Try these practices. 1. Journaling, free-flow writing, asking yourself deep questions. 2. Meditation. Even 5 to 10 minutes of mindfulness can make a difference. There are countless guided meditations available. 3. Nature immersion. Walk in nature, mindfully, without headphones. Observe. 4. Body scans. Pay attention to physical sensations. Where do you hold tension when thinking about your solitude? What does that tension tell you? 3. Embrace discomfort as a messenger. When uncomfortable feelings, sadness, anger, fear, boredom, arise in solitude, our instinct is often to immediately seek distraction. Instead, try to sit with the feeling, just for a moment longer each time. Get curious. Don't judge it. Ask, what is this emotion trying to tell me about my unmet needs, my core fears, or the old programming I'm ready to release? This is where the real gold is buried. 4. Set intentions for your solitude. Instead of passively experiencing it, define what you want to gain. During this time, I intend to understand my patterns better. I intend to reconnect with my creativity. I intend to heal. A pessimistic or depressive mindset often feels like being trapped in a gray, unchanging landscape. It thrives on a sense of powerlessness and disconnection. Disconnection from others, yes, but most critically, a profound disconnection from one's authentic self and sense of purpose. Solitude, approached with the intention and tools we've discussed, becomes a direct and powerful antidote. It's not a passive waiting game, it's an active process of reclamation. By courageously meeting yourself in the mirror of solitude, by listening to your inner wisdom, by understanding your connection to a larger reality, as thinkers like Grinberg posited, you begin to dismantle the illusion of powerlessness. You reclaim your agency. You start to understand that your intrinsic worth isn't a commodity to be negotiated with the external world, it's an inherent fact. Your inner peace, your sense of well-being, isn't solely dependent on external circumstances or validation. It can be cultivated from within. This isn't about simplistic positive thinking. It's about building an unshakable inner foundation of self-awareness, self-compassion, and authentic purpose. When this foundation is strong, resilience becomes your default, and a more optimistic, engaged outlook on life emerges not as an effort, but as a natural consequence of knowing, accepting, and living from your true self. Life, the universe, your deepest consciousness, whatever name you give to that guiding intelligence, doesn't orchestrate periods of solitude to inflict pain or to signify your failure. It clears the path, it quiets the noise, it creates the space, because it is inviting you to awaken. It is guiding you back to the incredible reservoir of power, wisdom, creativity, and love that already resides within you, often buried beneath layers of conditioning and fear. This period of solitude, whether brief or extended, whether chosen or seemingly imposed, is your sacred invitation. It's your design studio for becoming the conscious architect of your own mind, your emotions, and ultimately, your life's experience. It's an opportunity to build a version of yourself that is not just surviving the currents of the world, but is navigating them with clarity, purpose, and profound self-connection. From this place of inner wholeness, your connections with others will also transform, becoming more authentic, more meaningful, and less driven by need, more by genuine resonance. If this message has resonated with you today, if you feel that spark of recognition that solitude holds a gift for you, I encourage you to not just passively receive this information, but to actively engage with it. Share this video with someone who might be struggling with loneliness, someone who needs to hear that there's a different perspective. And in the comments below, I invite you once more to make a declaration, a commitment to yourself. Type, I am my own sanctuary. Let this be a collective affirmation that we are transforming this challenging epidemic of loneliness into a powerful, worldwide uprising of profound self-connection and inner peace. If you're new here at Mind Architect, welcome. We invite you to subscribe and join our community as we continue to explore the science and philosophy of your incredible mind. For our returning architects, thank you for your continued journey with us. Until next time, stay aware, stay curious, and continue building a better you from the inside out.